Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Scarfinger, and this is the second in the series of the things to basically do not do. I call it tragedy in 3 acts because I used the same paints and I messed up in each of them. So you can see this time I'm using the same cups. I'm putting them in differently. I start off with the black and put in the colors. Now the red, I had a little bit of an issue with the red. I did not think it was very red. It's kind of pink. It's supposed to be primary red. All of these the colors are all supposed to be primary colors, and they didn't seem very primary. The blue seemed very light, and the red definitely seemed super light. But all in all, this one did not turn out as bad as I thought, and I did mix up some of the white from the same package instead of using that white that wasn't quite mixed right. So I wanted to do something a little bit differently, but the mistake I made here was I wanted to try to stretch out the paint a little bit, but I just didn't have enough. I didn't have enough to really cover the canvas. So this is the second lesson in what not to do, and then I decided to just kind of pour and just kind of make lines. I wanted to do it differently as opposed to a normal flip cup, and then I kind of go back over it. I really liked how this looked when it was wet. Now when it dried, it didn't look as great, but I still thought it was a pretty decent painting, and I really would like to do this over again. It was just one of those things. Yeah, and I kind of swiped through it. But as you can see, like anybody that does fluid painting can tell right from the beginning, I absolutely did not have enough paint. I just didn't. And you know, it was a rookie mistake. I was trying to stretch out the paint a little bit. I had just spent a decent amount on the better paint, and so I was trying to make it stretch a bit, and I think I just kind of did too much. I was doing too much. The painting itself looks pretty good, and I think once I play with it a little bit more, get more familiar with my mixtures and all of that kind of stuff, I know that it'll work out better. But the painting itself wasn't that bad. It's just I ended up having to stretch it so far. You can see I started trying to tilt more slowly in order to get better results from the painting, and you can see me trying to smear some of the paint so that it can flow over it a little bit better. It doesn't really help because there just wasn't enough paint. All in all, like these are rookie mistakes, but I kind of excuse it by the fact that I was using these paints for the first time, even though I should have known better, and I should have known that I needed to make more paint. It's just I don't know, it just wasn't it just wasn't. I just should have known better. And then you can see me just trying my hardest to stretch this just to make it fit. And what I end up doing is taking what looks pretty decent, and I'm trying to get the sides, and I'm trying to make sure that all of it's covered. And what I end up doing is like really stretching the top of it. You know, the painting would have looked better if I would have had more paint and the top didn't look as stretched as it does once this is all done. It's all a learning experience. Even though I've been painting for a few months now, I should know better than this, but obviously I did not know better than this. So just trying to fill in. Like right now, I'm just trying to fill in whatever I can right now. Make sure I got my corners at least. It just, I don't know. It just was. I mean, I think I was just like disheartened a little bit by it, because I was like, I should have thought of this in advance, and I didn't. And I just did 3 paintings back to back using the same colors. Now I think I did mix a little bit more with the third painting. The third painting, I just made a smaller painting with 8x10, and I will put that one up after this because that's the third act. But it's just, I already feel like, you know, I'm still progressing in my journey to become an artist, and at this point I shouldn't be making these kinds of mistakes. And this is where I make the you see the bottom of the top of it for me, but the bottom for you, you can see the paint is stretched as far as it could possibly stretch, and that is what actually ruins this painting for me. I know a lot of people, I showed the picture to it while it was still wet, and like it looks so much better wet than it did when it dried. And some people like it, and some people really like it, but every time I look at it, I see that stretched part that's at the, you know, the bottom of your screen, but to me it's the top. I just see that, and honestly I get kind of sad. It's just one of those things to where I just wish that I had thought this through a little bit better. It still was a cool idea, and I would like to replicate. I would like to replicate this with more paint. And I like the fact that, you know, I'm using those primary colors, but you do get a lot of stuff in there, like the purple that comes out. And when it dried, a lot of the yellow came through in spots, which wasn't really that bad. Like I kind of like the way the yellow started to come through. I don't use a lot of yellow in my paintings, and it kind of made me want to use yellow a little bit more and find better colors to put with the yellow. And you know, since then I went out and I bought some more paints, different kinds of paints. I had to go to Michael's a few times to actually get a tube of metallic white. I really like metallic white over anything else, but I don't know. So there's the painting. I didn't really do a close-up because, you know, once you do this for a while, you know what's really gonna happen here, and I knew exactly what was gonna happen here. So I'm just gonna let this sit. Please follow me on my journey of becoming a better artist, a better creator, and like these videos. So just like, share, subscribe, and you can get more of this this stuff, and you know, these videos and everything else. And follow me on the Facebook page, facebook.com/PTCAC.